where I'm from, this is where it started. This is what becomes of the broken-hearted. This is going out to those departed from a life so young it was barely...
Hey Bojo, mi manda wabende wewe Nishnaabemdaa Noongo. In squanquin Dijnakas, quadendo dem, ma wa soxing and don jaba. Bungi gwete din Nishnaabem, jinan the weed ban the man, Asian Akimaguk, Nishnaabemdaa Noongo. Noongum dash nui jaganashim. I'm gonna speak English again today. And just review what we did last week. If you tuned in, we did some simple verb conjugation for animate intransitive verbs. So, sometimes known as VAI verbs. V, because it's a verb. Animate, because animate subjects do it. Humans are animate. Cats are animate. Trees are animate. And they're intransitive because these verbs don't have an object. So, for example, jiibaakwe means he or she is cooking. And it's doesn't say what they're cooking, it's just that they're cooking. Other intransitive verbs might be mose, he or she is walking. Doesn't have action on something else. An example of a transitive verb would be nawab ma, I see him or her. So it's got an object. I'm verbing something. Something is, there's action on something. So these ones, they don't have action on another thing. So they're called intransitive. How? So last week we just went through how to conjugate, animate and transitive verbs for me or you or him or her or us. And today we're going to do the same thing, but, just use an example. We'll show you how to conjugate with an actual verb, because last week we just did the formula. So this week we'll use a verb, an example. The one we'll use is jiibaakwe. Jiibaakwe means he or she is cooking. So if you'll remember, for me, I would say, oh, probably can't see that, but I'll write it here. Jiibaakwe. Jiibaakwe. Jiibaakwe, that means I am cooking. Easy as that. Jiibaakwe. So it works for other verbs. You just plug a different verb in here, and then you're speaking Nishnaabemdaa. So if you'll remember, gin, there's a ge on the front of the verb. Jiibaakwe. So that means you are cooking. Jiibaakwe, you are cooking. Now for ween, which is him or her, all you gotta do is say the verb, jiibaakwe. That means he or she is cooking. When you say it just like that, it's a complete sentence on its own. It means he or she is cooking. Now for us, so as you know, there's two us's in Nishnaabemdaa. There's the us that includes the person you're talking to, and there's the one that does not include the person you're talking to. So this one does not include Ninwin. That means we are cooking, we but not you are cooking. So I would say jiibaakwe min. Jiibaakwe min, we but not you are cooking. And for us, including you, ginwin, it's almost exactly the same, but there's a ge on the front. Jiibaakwe min. Probably no way you can read that at all, but again, I'll put subtitles in here. Jiibaakwe min, so that means us including you are cooking. So one way you might be able to remember this inclusive or exclusive we is the one that includes you has ge on the front. And ge for geen, ge, jiibaakwe. You are included in there when you see the ge on the front. Jiibaakwe min. We, including you, are cooking. The other one, ne, is me, not you. Ni jiibaakwe min. So that's us, but not you. Whereas when there's the ge there, that's us, including you. Ow? Ow. So what else we got here? Us. Then there's yous. Quinoa. Quinoa sounds like quinoa. And that is jiibaakwe. Jiibaakwe. There's a ge on the front. Ge on the front. And an M on the end. Jiibaakwe. Yous are cooking. You plural. Yous guys. Y'all. Alright, who we got here? Who else? Oh yeah. Then there's those people. Weenwa. Them people. And that is jiibaakwe wug. That means those people are cooking. Jiibaakwe wug. Jiibaakwe wug. They are cooking. So again, this is just a simple pattern. You can use different verbs in here. This one, jiibaakwe, is easier. If there's a short vowel on the end of the verb, it can change the ending a little bit. We'll do that another time, but for now, just remember this basic formula. And who else we got here? There is the fourth person. We talked about this last week, I think maybe the week before as well. And so this is known as the obviative, or also known as the fourth person. It's kind of hard to explain because it doesn't exist in English. So in Nishnaabemdaa, there's ween, the third person, but you can distinguish if there's another third person. So in English, when we're talking about more than one third person, it's hard to distinguish who's doing what. But in Nishnaabemdaa, you can make the distinction between the other third person, also known as the fourth person. Anyways, for that person to say the fourth person is cooking, you would say jiibaakwe one. Jiibaakwe one. So you might say Mani Don son jiibaakwe one. Mary's daughter is cooking. If you're talking about Mary and Mary's daughter, you can distinguish between the two of them. So if it's Mary's daughter who's cooking, if Mary's the third person, talk about Mary's daughter as the fourth person, you could say jiibaakwe one, Mani Don son. That's Mary's daughter is cooking. Now there's another grammatical person in Nishnaabemdaa. It's in English too. And that is the indefinite actor. So what that means is it's not saying who's doing the action, but that there's action going on. And that, to say that, it's jiibaakwe. Jiibaakwe. So that just means there is cooking happening. There's cooking going on. It's not saying who's doing it, but that there is cooking going on. Jiibaakwe. Works for the other animate and transitive verbs. Just plug the verb in there, put the M on the end, meaning that general activity, there's that general action going on. Not saying who's doing it, but that it's happening. So there you go. That's the formula. There's a ne on the front for neen, ge for geen, blah, 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 blah. And just plug the verb in there to conjugate it for the different grammatical persons. How? So if you listened to the radio show on Friday, the phrase we did was Ode nong nagwijamin nongonag shig. Ode nong nagwijamin nongonag shig. And that means, are we going to go to town this evening? Ode nong nagwijamin nongonag shig. And Ode nong, as you know, means town. And the na part in there, it's a simple little word. Na. Ode nong na gwijamin nongonag shig. It turns a simple independent statement into a yes or no question. So if I were to say, Ode nong jiibaakwe Noongo nagshig, that means we are going to go to town this evening. But if I throw the na in the second position there, second word in the sentence, Ode nong jiibaakwe Noongo nagshig, that turns that into a yes or no question. So there you go. It's an easy way to learn how to ask simple yes or no questions. When you ask other questions, things get complicated. We'll address that in a couple weeks. But so na, remember that. Turns a simple independent statement into a yes or no question. Anyways, Ode nong jiibaakwe Noongo nagshig. So you will see you'll hear jiibaakwe. So that's us inclusive, us including you. There's a ge on the front and a min on the end. Jiibaakwe. That means we're going to go. We're going to go. That we is the future tense marker, which we'll talk about next week, I believe, if not the week after. So jiibaakwe means we are going to go, but just pointing out the us inclusive. Jiibaakwe. We are going to go. So there you go. Ode nong jiibaakwe Noongo nagshig. Noongo nagshig means this evening. And put that all together, it means, are we going to go to town this evening? Something you might ask your boyfriend or girlfriend on a Friday night or Friday day. Ode nong jiibaakwe Noongo nagshig. How? Migo yo gonna butch. I think that's it. Just remember that formula there. It changes for different verbs, but this is the simplest way to remember it. I'll write these all out as we go along. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Misa you. Chmigwech. Ki gonna love the Meg. Thank you all for watching. And yeah. Bama P. Gwabmanem Minwa. See y'all later. See y'all again. Ophelia. Ophelia. Oh, Ophelia. Mi mabit nagaj gesim. Ophelia Jinkaza. Ophelia. Bojo kidan. Now, Mio.
Going out to those that parted from a life so young it was barely started. This is going out to the mamas crying 'cause the sun's gone home with the angels flying.